You can record so many things at home on your computer.
Sure.
It's much easier than it used to be. It used to be that you had to get a terrible agent, and then a better agent, and then a better agent, and then a better...
Right.
But now, if you work on a cool project, either your own or your friends, it's a very different story. And you can sign up online to a site to post your own auditions. And if you have a good USB mic, you can use your own USB mic and post auditions. So that's a better way to get in.
Right.
In my opinion, the best thing is if either you or a friend of yours knows how to animate, and then you can work on projects together, and that can serve as your own resume. Then people can actually see it all posted on YouTube. It's a good way to start.
All right, thanks for that insight.
You got it, sure.
Okay, so connecting this question is, did you actually ever thought that you'll be a voice actor?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
So you want
Of course I wanted to be a voice actor. Yeah, no,
what made you decide?
Did I think that I'd be doing conventions and running around like this? No, absolutely not. That didn't even occur to me. But being a voice actor, yeah, because I studied to be an actress in college and as a child. And then when I was maybe 19 or 20 was the first time that I got a voiceover job. And it was so much fun, and it was so cool, and I could do it in my pajamas. And it doesn't matter, right? Exactly. It doesn't matter what you look like. You can sound bigger. You can sound smaller. You can sound blonder. You can sound, whatever it may be. And I said, "Oh, I love this. This is like a cool gig. I like this job." And then I started doing shows off Broadway.
Yes.
And while I was doing shows, I kept on having producers stop me and say I had a great voice, and then pulling me in to do voiceover jobs. And so then I started hotly pursuing it.
Okay, you said you want to be a voice actor ever since you were still a child.
I wanted to be a regular actor as a child, but then by the time I was like 20 and I got a taste of voice acting, I was like, this is what I'd like to do.
So when you were a child, you actually wanted to be an actress.
Mhm.
So that's why you pursued it, and you didn't actually expect that you'll be a voice actress.
No. The way it went, I didn't expect. However, I'm very happy with how it all turned out.
So now, since you're a voice actress, but you wanted to be an actress,
Yes.
if we get to choose between the two, which would you choose better?
Oh, my-
Actress or voice actress?
Voice actress, 100%. 100%. Yeah, no, I get to have like a really normal life. And I get to run around, and again, I get to work in my pajamas, which is
the best part.
Right, I can gain 5 pounds and it doesn't matter. I can work in my right, exactly, right. So these are all things that make being a voice actor way better. Yeah, it's way better. Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you look like while you're making a voice sound a certain way. So there's so much more room to play and so much more room to be silly. So I definitely prefer it. It's way better.
You're practically, you guys in Overwatch, especially you, you're practically like royalty.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Thank
are.
you.
We love what you guys have done, and can you tell us a little bit more? Because for us, it's such an amazing thing to see what kind of a family that the Overwatch voice actors have been.
Yeah.
We see you guys mess around on YouTube and your videos. You see you guys have fun. How is that?
That part has been such an unexpected gift. That part, no one could have told me was going to happen, but I don't think could have told anyone that it would happen. I mean, I've done many games at this point, and I've done a lot of animation, and I have never been involved in a voice project, where the cast has come together and started playing around together and become so tight, and we've all become friends. We all really genuinely hang out off duty. I think it was Jeff Kaplan was joking that people who are fans assume that we're like friends and we all live in the same apartment somewhere. That
We
we're
did
all,
at one point.
Right,
Everything that's been posted, you're like a family actually.
we really are. We're really all pals. We really all talk off duty. We really are all texting each other and getting together and having lunches and having dinners. And it's like it's a very special and unique bond. I think it's because for all of us, none of us expected it to go the way that it's gone, and for this game to have taken off the way that it has and united us the way it has. It's like that perfect coming together of social media and a game that's so inspiring, and everyone being together. It worked.
So before everything, before it blew up, you had no idea this was going to be a global phenomenon, the way it is now.
Absolutely no idea. No idea at all.
So
like no
this
clue.
is like a big surprise for.
Total shock. And I've done other very successful games. I've done a bunch of the GTAs.
Yeah.
I've been Lord Zash in the Old Republic for years.
Old
so
Republic.
I've done and for Star Wars, the Old Republic. I've done a bunch of animation. I've worked on Warcraft, and obviously Warcraft is huge, but the voice actors didn't become what this game has become. So it's been totally unexpected, and that the game blew up the way that it did.
Yeah.
When I booked it and I did my first session, which was on my birthday by coincidence.
Oh, wow.
My first session on my
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
I know, and I didn't know. Right? I thought I was just doing a nice, fun session. I had no idea. I went to my agent afterward, and she said to me, "I think this is going to be a big deal. I think this is going to be a big one." And I was like. Like I totally dismissed it.
Promote that agent.
I know, right? I know. I thought nothing of it. I did not think that it was going to be anything like it's been.
Do you have any like standout experiences? You know, you travel the world, go to different conventions a lot. You know, any like your favorite fan moment?
Oh my
experience or
God, that's a
interactions with
hard
fans?
question. Well, probably the best ones were the first times that I realized that it was such a big deal.
Right.
My husband is a writer-director, and so the first, I'm trying to think, it was the first fan incident that happened was when the game was in pre-testing. And I had been on set all the time during the shooting of this film. I thought nothing of it. And one day, one of the assistants, who had known me all along and had been like my buddy,
Right.
wouldn't look at me. He's driving me, and he suddenly won't look at me. And I'm like, what's going on? And I said, I'm like, what's going on? And he goes, look, I really rarely get starstruck. I don't get starstruck. But you didn't tell me that you're Pharah in Overwatch. And I was like, oh my God. I had no idea. I was so shocked. I was totally shocked. And then maybe, how many months later? I feel like maybe 2 months later, I'm at Thanksgiving. Oh, no, it's later than that. I'm at Thanksgiving at my sister-in-law's house, of all things.
Okay.
And there's a
Kinda
bunch
like
of
a
children there, right, and they're like distant relatives through marriage, and one of the women says to me, like, oh, you do voiceovers. What kind of voiceovers do you do?
That's
And
perfect.
That's exactly how she said it. I'm telling you exactly how she said it. And I said, I do games. And I said, oh, she goes, oh, Tommy loves games. I'll tell Tommy. And she calls her son, who's with, like, all of the cousins in the basement, and goes, like, Tommy, Jen does the voice in a game called Overwatch. Oh. And the kid goes white as a sheet. Like, absolutely, like, suddenly, like, eyes glaze over and, like, looks away and runs downstairs. And she's like, oh, I think he's impressed. And he and all the cousins came up afterward and were like, my friends don't believe me. My friends don't believe me. Can I take a picture of you? Can I take? And then they came back. They still don't believe it. Will you do the lines? And I did like a video, and no one, like all of these distant relatives are all looking at me like I've got 6 heads. They have no idea that this is a thing that the kids. But so those two were the funniest because those two were so unexpected. And then anything that happened after that were like, oh, this is what happens now all the time now, you know. but yeah, it was very funny.
So a while ago, we heard on the main stage, we heard you do your voice lines. Which is amazing. I know you've been asked this before, but if you were to do a voice, any other character's voice line,
yes,
what would that? Who would it be?
But I'm so partial. Well, you know, okay, I could do a couple.
Sure.
So
go on.
somebody else you're going to interview soon enough. I hack the planet.
Yeah.
I love that one. And then again, the one it's oh my God. Step into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. I love Widowmaker. She's awesome.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, sure.
On the flip side of the questions of the fandom, have you been made aware of sort of the weirder, deeper sides of the fandom?
That was the moment I realized I made it. Literally, that is literally the moment. I found out that I was a little more difficult to find. I didn't realize that I was difficult to find. And I had been getting these like requests to sign things and requests for interviews, and I just finished an interview with a British podcaster who's got a show called Soundhouse. I had just hung up with that. Charlie Contra is his name. I had just hung up, and my husband calls me frantic and says, oh my God, turn on Howard Stern. Do you know who Howard Stern is?
Yes.
Okay, apparently Howard Stern had just done some like rundown of the 2017 top porn sites of the year, of the top 5 porn sites. And what like number 2 or 3 was Overwatch porn. I had no idea. So my husband sends me the links to the, and I'm like, and then somebody actually is doing my voice. I had no idea. So that I was like, wow, I have made it. You're really cool when
That's
there's
the
a
best
porn
attitude
of your
for it.
character in a game. That was the weirder.
So how do you feel about the kinds of fans who believe in shipping and the ones who call you like mom?
You know what? I think I'm more weirded out by the moms than the shipping. But I get both, and I get a lot of that on my Instagram and on my Twitter feed. Like, there's a lot of moms and the shipping. I mean, so somebody.
Suddenly so many children.
Oh yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, no, and the whole pharmacy thing has been. I've been pharmacied out. It's been really. I mean, it's flattering, and frankly, the fact that it stood as a symbol of good and of. It seems to be really uniting and helpful to the LGBTQ community. Yeah. Everybody seems to really attach to it and feel represented, and I love that. I'm happy to help anything.
And it's a strategy viable in tournaments.
There's that too. There's that too. Right.
Okay, thank you very much. Last question before we let go for one.
Last question. So, you guys are already close-knit, the group of voice actors in Overwatch. How did it all start? Who started it? Who planned it all?
For me, in my experience?
Yeah.
Well, my experience, so I realized after I found out that there was pornography of my character. After that, I realized I needed to start a Twitter. I needed to have a dedicated Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have one. So I said, okay, you know what? It was under a different name. No one knew it was me.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll open a Twitter feed. And I opened up, hey, it's Jen Cohn. And within 5 minutes, I got the British interviewer who I was talking about. Suddenly, I got all these text messages. Is it really you? Is it you? Are you sure it's you? And I said, it's me. And suddenly, within 10 minutes, Carolina, Anjali, Lucy, Johnny. It was ridiculous.
Everyone. Yeah.
Oh my God, we found her! It's Jen! It's Pharah! We found her! And I had a lunch date scheduled within an hour with Lucy and Caro. And the next week I was going to Blizzard. I just happened to be going to LA and going to Blizzard. Right. So that's when I met Anjali. And so, I mean, immediately it was so. But my first get together was with Caro and with Lucy.
So the porn came first before the get together.
I found out about the porn before I got to meet the girls.
Kind of weird,
but
okay,
I know. Porn and friends.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Foundations of everything.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much.